Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Gap Year Diaries. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ryme, I'm 22 and I'm currently solo backpacking across Southeast Asia for a few months during my gap year. In today's episode, I'm heading to Laos and I'm taking the slow boat to get there. And guys, so much happens in this vlog. From a 3-day trek in the mountains to motorcycle loops, celebrating Lao New Year, trying the most amazing food and discovering this incredibly beautiful country that completely stole my heart. I really hope that you enjoyed this vlog. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel diaries. Without further ado, let's go. Guys, rise and shine. I'm gonna be taking the slow boat. Let's go to now. Literally so tired. I'm so tired and I didn't sleep this night. Here's the journey. I got my visa on arrival at the border. It was honestly really easy. I didn't have to do anything beforehand. You just need a picture and $30. I exchanged some baht in Thailand and that worked fine, but if you can prepare a little bit in advance, having US dollar is definitely useful. Okay, so I just got my visa for Laos. It was literally so easy. I was so stressed about it, but it went super fast. Once I got my visa, I crossed the border and we got on the slow boat. It's a 2-day journey, about 6 hours each day, with a stop at night in between. I booked everything through Want to Go Asia because it felt easier and more straightforward. I think if you go directly to Chiang Rai to the border, it might be cheaper. They picked me up straight from my hostel in Chiang Rai, which made everything really smooth. It costed about €40 and they even give you a meal on the first day, so it's a really budget-friendly option, especially since the flights were insanely expensive. Even though flying would have been faster, I had learned about the slow boats on social media a few years ago and I'd been intrigued ever since. I've wanted to backpack across Southeast Asia for a long time. I don't have a very strict plan. This was one of the experiences I really wanted to have. The idea of spending 2 days slowly cruising down the Mekong River just felt so special, and since it wasn't high season, the boat wasn't too full. The vibe on the boat was so nice. It was mostly travelers and we played cards, talked. There was something so peaceful about knowing that I had absolutely nothing to do for the next 2 days and I could really turn my brain off. I spent my time reading, listening to music, journaling. We arrived in Phakbang around 6 p.m. I had booked my accommodation the night before. You can do it when you arrive, but I just thought it was easier, and you end up with travelers from the slow boats. After settling in, we heard some music, and next thing I knew, I was invited to a Lao wedding on my very first night in Laos. It felt so surreal and fun. I felt a little bad because I was still in my travel clothes, but everyone was so welcoming. We stayed for a bit and it was just such a nice and still an unexpected way to start my time here. Around 8 a.m. it was time to get back on the boat for day 2. It was so nice because you already knew some of the people from the day before. Because it was burning season, the morning was a bit hazy, but by the afternoon it cleared up and the sun came out. I did more of the same, reading, journaling, listening to music, but at some point, the girl sitting next to me gave me her watercolors to try, which was so kind, and guys, I absolutely loved it. It was so calming and relaxing, and I'll definitely bring some on my next trip. Most of the time I was just looking at the views, at what the landscape go by, and observed life along the river. It made me so grateful and excited for everything that was still ahead. I had no idea what to expect, and that was what made it so exciting. The views were still incredible and I couldn't believe that I was there. The slow boat experience definitely isn't for anyone, but I loved it so much. In a trip where I've been moving a lot and seeing so many places, it felt really nice to have 2 full days just dedicated to traveling. I reflected a lot on what I want the rest of my trip to look like. Laos is one of the countries I was the most excited about. I really want to be more adventurous and spontaneous there, and this felt like the perfect way to arrive. So I just got out of the taxi and the slow boat. I'm currently walking to my hostel. It's been so fun, honestly. The slow boat was such a fun experience. I am really tired and I'm excited to get to the hostel and just have a place for a few days. I'm in Laos, guys. It's so cool. I'm so excited. There we go, up again. Okay, so long story short, I ended up running into my friend who I traveled with in the Philippines. She convinced me to join her and her friends on a 3-day trek to Nong Khiaw starting the next day. And I had seen so many people on social media saying how challenging that trek was. Doing the hike in Nong Khiaw. It has honestly been kind of difficult, but I think I'm heading towards the end of the hike and I'm really excited. Anyways, it definitely feels good to be in nature, but I've been coughing a lot and I'm wondering if it's because of burning season, because the air quality is kind of bad at the moment. But yeah, we're almost there. The nature is beautiful, it's so quiet and I love it. The hike is pretty fine now, like it's not as steep anymore, but the first half of it was just like I had to have a break, a little break every few meters. And the hike itself is not that long. It's only like 6 kilometers. But it's just so steep. But right now, of course, we're going down, which I don't like because it means that we're going up at some point. So it does feel counterproductive.
Honestly, apart from walking a lot, I hadn't really done any actual exercise since the beginning of my trip, so I was a little scared that it might be too much, but I decided to say yes, not overthinking and just go for it. And honestly, it ended up being one of the best memory of this trip so far. Guys, the hike to Nong Khiaw was rough, not gonna lie. I felt like I was dying on the Stairmasters the entire time, but if I did it, you can too, and really take it at your own pace. As soon as we reached the top, the view was incredible, completely breathtaking, and it made everything worth it. We spent the night at the top of the mountain, which was such a special experience, and the group was so nice. It was so much fun, but it definitely does get cold at night. Bring something warm. Next morning, we were supposed to watch the sunrise over the mountain, but unfortunately the sky was covered that day. We went down the mountain, had breakfast, and started day 2. Day 2 was definitely a lot harder. It was a 5-hour trek through the jungle. I was so tired, but it was so beautiful. The group was also much smaller.
Most people only do the 1-day trek to Nong Khiaw, but I would 100% recommend doing the 3 days because I think it's so worth it.
We walked and stopped along the way. Our guide was so kind. We arrived in the afternoon at our homestay, went swimming in the river, and it was just so nice. The village was so peaceful and the family hosting us was incredibly welcoming. Experiences like this, homestays in general, are just so special because you get to learn so much about the country you're in and the daily life there. So overall, this whole experience was a 10 out of 10. The group got along so well, and even though I'm definitely not a hiker, I absolutely loved it. The last day, thankfully, was much more chill. We walked for about 2 hours to a waterfall and then took a boat to a sub-village. And after that, we kayaked back to Nong Khiaw. This whole experience felt so grounding. The 3-day trek cost around $90. And honestly, if I had more time in Laos, I would have definitely stayed longer in Nong Khiaw because it was one of my favorite places.
Hello from Vang Vieng. I have been here for a few days now and the weather isn't too good today, and so I didn't really do anything. I haven't gotten a matcha since Thailand. Yeah, since July. So China week. Hello guys, good morning. Update: the weather got worse. Like, this was crazy. I was sleeping in my dorm, had really thin walls, so I literally felt like I was being rained on. Weather isn't too great, which is why I'm leaving to Ventiane today, the capital. Honestly, I had such high expectation for Vang Vieng. I know it's one of the coolest kind of place for backpackers here in Laos, but honestly, I don't know. I think it was mostly my mood and the weather. I feel like I would want to come back and experience it another time and do the hot air balloon. I wish I could have done this. So eat lunch and then I have my transfer in an hour. At the 7-Eleven and I'm looking for, oh, I don't think they have it. They have it. Let's grab one of them. It's these types of yogurts. If you're Moroccan or you've ever been in Morocco and you've tried those, this tastes almost exactly like Ryme. This makes me really happy abroad to be able to have it. It's not Ryme, but it's close enough.
It was a bit sad to miss out on Seoul Mud in Vang Vieng, but the weather was just really bad that week. So I headed to the capital, Ventiane.
This is Milan.
And Ventiane was actually such a cool city. I was still a little sick, so I didn't film that much, but I just spent my days wandering around, resting, and going to the night market, which is my favorite thing to do traveling.
Okay, we are at the night market. I mean, but not really anymore. I got a beef roti. I don't know if it's the same as the one that I got in Malaysia, but it looks like the same, so a taste. This reminds me of the goat.
I work here. I work here.
Yes.
How do you pronounce ICI? It's
Easy. Okay, so I just got a crispy chicken salad. There's a soup with it, and I got my smoothies.
I headed south to Thakhek to start the Thakhek Loop, which is a motorcycle loop you do over a few days through central Laos. And guys, I was so excited. My time in Laos has been really special so far.
So I just arrived. This is the door. I'm so tired from the road. It was so long. My back is killing me. But then the book. The bird is literally the window. The bird is literally on the window. The bird was really cute. There met a lot of people. Hi everyone. So guess what? I did a very stupid thing yesterday, and I'm gonna tell it to you now by inserting that little clip. I always feel like such a millionaire whenever I get money. Give it to me. Give it to me, Rachel. Get the money. The police. Anyways, the beeping was me from getting my card inside the ATM. Bruh. But yeah, this is okay because I'm a chill person. I don't panic, mostly because I'm constantly in denial. I stuffed like this young couple. I was like, I forgot my card inside, and they didn't understand, so I showed the Google Translate, and they were like, oh. They called for me, they didn't answer, so I went back to the hostel. Suddenly my phone stopped working as I plugged it with the new charger, and I'm very suspicious of that charger now. Suddenly it was at 1%. It just stopped working. I was very confused, and I was like, you better not die on me, especially because you're new. You're a new phone, you have everything. I hope this is going to get very complicated if I don't have the phone to do wire transfer and stuff like that, and I don't have a card. But I learned from my mistakes back in Korea. I have 2 cards with me and 3 cards, but the third had an issue with. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that yet. That's why this morning they called for me, and they were like, you have to pick up the card at 1 p.m. Central, like this 13 minutes away, and you have to bring your passport, of course. In order to rent a motorcycle, I need to leave my passport, so I have to walk 30 minutes to the bank, and then it will already be like 2 p.m. by the time I get back. I cannot wait for you. I gotta go. Guess what? I'm not going. We're at the bank. Okay, people, good morning. We're on the bike. After all of these mishaps, it was finally time for me to start the Thakhek Loop. Oh my god, I was just so excited. We rented the bike and they cost around €7 each day. For the Thakhek Loop, you basically rent a motorcycle, choose a route, and stop along the way. So I'm gonna try to share the route that we took as clearly as I can. So for the first day, the goal was to end in Thailand at Sabaidi guest house. All of the accommodations on the loop costed around €10 for a private room. I really love that you could just go at your own pace. The condition of the road was mostly okay, but there was a bit of construction in some areas, so you really need to be careful. There are a lot of accidents on that loop. The landscapes while driving were honestly so beautiful. You ride through small villages, limestone mountains, caves, rivers. We ended the day at a waterfall. Went to the waterfall. I'm super tired. We have to get to the guest house, so we have to hurry. It's really fun. The loop has been incredibly beautiful, and it's so nice doing it with a motorcycle, but I'm getting kind of tired. Yeah.
The guest house had such a nice vibe. We booked a private room. Dinner was a big barbecue where everyone sat. It was such a wholesome moment. On the second day, we headed towards Konglor, making stops along the way and passing through small villages. The road was so beautiful that day. Seeing daily life from the road was one of my favorite parts.
J'ai l'impression que c'est nous. Tu pourrais être blessé. Est-ce qu'on peut y aller maintenant?
Guys, those caves were so impressive. Craziest part is that they were mostly empty and it really started to feel a little scary being completely alone in such a big cave. We were trying not to freak out, but guys, I was ready to leave.
Comme ça, grosse tête.
Cave was stunning and so impressive. The visit actually took quite a long time, so we didn't feel like driving to Thakhek immediately after. By the way, from Konglor, you can actually go through the cave with your motorbike and then return to Thakhek through a dirt road, but I really didn't feel confident enough to do that, so we decided not to take that route and just add another day of food. We stayed in Nahin for the night, and Lao New Year was starting, so the atmosphere was already really festive.
I hope you can see me well. Today is the beginning of Lao New Year. I just finished Thakhek Loop. I stayed in Thakhek in total like way longer with the car incident and everything, and I kind of want to leave today. It's really complicated because of New Year. Fortunately, I injured myself. Shoulder really does hurt. Like I can't really lift it more than like 30 degrees. I feel very annoyed at myself, and even though I was being careful and everything, it sucks. And I know that it happens, but it just feels very annoying. I cannot carry my bag. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. To ask for the bus because I want to go to Dondet today. I can't do Pakse for this time, and also because I'm injured, I feel like I just want to chill a little, but I'm sad to be skipping Pakse, but you cannot do everything while traveling, especially when you have unexpected things happening to you. It's literally like a chicken fight happening. It's the first day of Lao New Year. I haven't seen any water fights yet, but I'm really excited to see what it's like in Laos. I think it's also New Year's in Cambodia. It started 2 days ago, I think, in Thailand. Anyways, back to the subject. I went to ask if I could have a bus, and the thing is, because of New Year's, a lot of buses that leave from Ventiane, the capital, are full, so they don't even stop in Thakhek or Pakse. So I don't know if I will get one. I really like actually Thakhek. Not much to do in this town, but I feel so chill here. And I have this cafe. I've literally been to that cafe like 6 times at least. They have a membership card. I should have gotten it the first time. I feel like I would have gotten the free stuff already. I don't know how the day's gonna go and I have literally nothing planned. I think I'm just gonna pack now. So there's no bus to Dondet today, which means I'm gonna have to stay, and there probably won't be any buses to Dondet like tomorrow because they're full from Ventiane. So I just decided to go to Pakse in the end. I'll try to go to Dondet again. But the lady at my hostel, she's so nice. We're just really getting along, and she was like, oh my god, it's too bad that you're leaving tomorrow. We could have gone to the temple together for New Year's. When people are nice to me, it just melts my heart. Oh, thank you.
It was the first night of Lao New Year and I got to celebrate it with the people from my hostel. It was so much fun, guys. It's basically a huge water fight where they're spraying so much water on you. It's also baby powder.
It was so much fun. The cities usually organize events, so there was a concert. Guys, this is me after Lao New Year. It was so much fun. We went with the two people at the hostel. Both of them helped me so much, honestly. I've had so many troubles and little fun stories that were not so fun. I'm so glad, actually. You know, sometimes things happen for a reason. Today, the reason was for me to spend Lao New Year with them. First whole day. It was crazy, you guys. Like, I don't think I was able to really film much, and they told us it was like supposed to be like one of the softest days. Apparently they go really hard than the last day, so we'll see. But yeah, sabadi pimai.
Lao New Year had a much bigger impact on my plans than I expected. I was a bit blindsided because I didn't really know about it beforehand, and it lasted a few days, and while it was such a cool experience and I feel really grateful to have seen in different cities, it also made traveling a lot harder. There was no night buses and the day ones were already full from the capital. I eventually made it to Pakse after what remained the most horrible bus ride of this whole trip. I grabbed a munch for a little pick-me-up and then some lunch. That afternoon, the hostel owner offered to take us out to celebrate Lao New Year's with her and her friends.
We're back at it again. I'm absolutely drenched. We just came back from the last day of Lao New Year, and they literally had like fire hose sprinkling water at us. It was so much fun. I'm so glad that I got to go. I've been super confused regarding my travel plan. I'm supposed to go to Cambodia afterwards. My itinerary got delayed so much because of Lao New Year. I don't know if I should just go straight to Cambodia or if I should still try and go to Don Det. I don't know, but for now I'm just going to go find something to eat. Okay, so I just sat down at a restaurant and I'm waiting for my food. I just ordered a soup roll, and it is so hot at the moment. It's like literally 35 degrees, and I just have no drive to do anything. We're ready to go and get rid of these nails. The place was closed, but I just messaged her on Instagram and she just told me that she could take me in. I'm really excited. My shoulder is doing like way better. It makes me just more motivated to do stuff.
Pakse ended up being my last stop before heading to Cambodia, and I was really sad to miss Don Det, but because I had finally booked my flight back, my time was limited, so it just gives me another reason to come back.
The third waterfall of the day tour. Yeah, it's really warm today. The waterfalls are gorgeous.
In total, I spent a little over 3 weeks in Laos, and it ended up being one of the most special part of my trip. I lived so much there, so many adventures, met so many people, and gained so many beautiful memories. So thank you so much, Lao, for welcoming me, for all the incredible people I met, and for the past few weeks that will honestly forever stay with me. Laos is such a beautiful country with such a deep and complex history. I felt really grateful to have discovered it. I'm so excited for the rest of my journey and for Cambodia. I really hope that you have enjoyed this little postcard from Lao. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and tell me what you thought in the comments, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!